Hey, y'all. Welcome back to the Collective's Table, where we have conversations that inspire, challenge, or create awareness. So go ahead and sit down because we saved you a seat. Today, we have a very special guest near and dear to my heart, and the youngest thus far, Mazi Smazi. Welcome to the table, girl.
I'm at the table. We here.
Okay, quick fire
Okay.
icebreaker. Okay, coffee or tea?
See,
Night or day?
night.
Hustle or flow?
Hustle.
East Coast or West Coast?
East Coast, what?
Okay, I didn't know it was in parallel or bi-coastal now, but I figured you'd say East Coast. Okay.
East Coast all day.
The real hard question. In-N-Out or Raising Cane's?
In and out.
Wow. Okay.
And a lot of people would not agree with me.
I would agree with you personally. I would.
Thank you, because Lord.
Okay, give us 3 words to describe Mazi.
3 words. Fly.
Yes.
That's step 1. Eclectic.
Okay.
And what could be a really great 3rd word? I would say intellectual.
Those are very on the spot. Very on the spot. Now, you said tea, so you got a matcha. How is the matcha? Shout out to Fable House Cafe.
It's so good.
The honey vine, how's it tasting?
It's lovely. It's lovely. And I'm a matcha drinker.
Okay.
So like this touch of salt is just perfect for me.
I love the salt too. And the little, I don't know what this is called, but
Oh, yes. She's cute.
it's real cute.
She's real cute. Down with her.
Okay, my darling. So, fun fact, you guys. Well, how old were you when I met you? I know you were in high school.
Yeah. I was definitely in high school. I want to say maybe like 15 or 16.
Oh my goodness. Was it through Siobhan?
Yes.
Okay, shout out to
It was
Siobhan. So this is really special because she has been a youngin' of mine from back in the day. And now just getting to, I think most of all my youngins are all adults now.
Yeah.
And soaring, that's what brings so much joy to my heart in watching your journey through the many things that hopefully we'll get to today. But what has it been like coming up for you? What was it like growing up?
So I come from a very musical family. My father is a DJ. My mother is a singer. My sister's a singer. My brother's a producer. So our household was filled with a lot of music.
Yeah.
And that's really where a lot of my passion comes from, because it's just music was my first love. You know, so growing up, and I'm also from Brooklyn, New York.
Shout out to Brooklyn.
Shout out Brooklyn, Best Side to be exact. So growing up in Brooklyn, there's just so much culture and there's so much beauty. And I think being surrounded by all of that really impacted me and has made me the woman I am today. So it's been a lot of that growing, a lot of culture, a lot of music, a lot of love, and just, you know, there's ups and downs and everything, but mainly like the love always seeks through. So yeah.
What was one thing that you felt could have been a hurdle growing up that actually enabled you to be who you are?
I think that I was always very different. And sometimes I thought that was a bad thing because I was in public school in Brooklyn. Children are cruel. Children are very cruel. And I wouldn't say like,
I heard New Yorkers are
yo,
a little tough.
what? Like it was tough to the point that it was like the children are dripped down like Jordans, Montclair, like they have on pieces. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm more Converse, like denim jacket, but it's fly, but it's not like no big designer stuff. Like that's not really my vibe, you know? So I think that was always a thing.
I gotta pause you because that just brought up a question.
Yeah.
Because I know you're a fashionista.
Yes. Yes.
Do you feel like, are you rocking with the East Coast or the West Coast as far as fashion goes?
That is
New York to LA.
That is a great question because I've actually moved here and I've kind of like shifted my entire style.
Okay.
I've actually like pulled back a lot. Like it's more like clean white tees, great jeans, great shoes, like great accessories. In New York, I'm more layered. Like I have on hat, glasses, and a hoodie, and a jacket. And like not because only the weather, I'll layer out here too. But also it just doesn't really call for that. Like I want my skin to show and glow, and like that's kind of the vibe I've been on. So
Yeah.
I would say I can take from both. Like both coasts have something to offer.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm a Brooklyn girl, so it's inevitable.
Okay.
Everyone is like, I know you're not from here.
Yes.
Everywhere I go, they're like, we know you're not from here.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I just had to interject that
That's
one.
a great one. That's a great one.
So growing up, about what being different.
Yeah, I think it was the being different because my thing was like, I'm talented. Like I can really do everything. And like that's what really shines through it all. But like in school, it was always like the designer pieces, and that's not really like my vibe per se. So yeah, that would be the hurdle. It was me really like overcoming myself and like knowing that there's power in who I am, just who I am. It doesn't no added extensions or added anything. So that was a big hurdle. Another big hurdle would be like my parents, like they co-parented me. So I was in two different households experiencing two different things.
Your whole life, or at what point?
This was at age 8.
Okay.
But it was cool because my parents lived down the street from one another.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, so it was really cool. And they're also like best friends. They were best friends per se. So it's two different energies because my father is West Indian, my mother is indigenous. They run a very different household. And like my father is a Caribbean man. So like we're eating lots of starch and like it's love, it's fun, but also like I'm having asthma attacks. Cause you know, like he's not necessarily paying attention in that sense. And then when I go to my mother's house, she's like eating clean, like we're doing yoga. We're like in a whole different state of mind. So yeah, those were two different perspectives I had growing up and just like kind of integrating the two as I become an adult, you know?
What was it like? Because I also grew up in a separate household, but my parents were not friends growing up.
Yeah.
So hearing somebody say that was their experience, I think is important to kind of spend a little time on.
Yeah.
Were they best friends after they split, or what did that look like for you?
Yeah, they were best friends after they split. And funny enough, I don't really remember them being together. I just see like photos, and then I only really know them to be best friends. But to this day, they're actually no longer friends.
Okay.
And that was mainly because of a boundaries thing, you know? And I think that it's important within a co-parenting dynamic to actually have a true friendship versus like just kind of putting the title there for sake of peace. And that's not that. I don't think there was a real sense of peace within their dynamic. It was more so for me.
Okay.
And then when I got older, my mom's like, you're a grown adult. I don't have to do this anymore, you know? So that was like, okay. And it was boundaries more than anything. And there's a mutual respect in that understanding. So I think that's important. But growing up, we would all do things together. We were all living under one roof at one point.
Wow.
Yeah, like one roof. They always laughed and smiled together, and they would argue, but it wasn't like, it was more of like a conversation. I've always seen them have like healthy resolve. Even if it was like a big blow up, it would always be healthy resolve.
Yeah. What did that look like? Do you remember?
Funny enough, I don't remember to the extent. I know that they were always there for one another.
Okay.
Like my dad has had some like both of them have had really crazy situations, and they've had different relationships within it all.
Yeah.
So I've always seen a switch when my father has a girlfriend.
Okay.
And like how he tries to inflict boundaries. Not that my mom is overstepping his boundaries, but just it's men. Like, you know, it's men, and they kind of get all flustered in those types of situations. But my mom has always remained herself and like remained a friend and true, like a really great friend. So yeah, that was interesting to always witness, like how the switch would happen when he has a girlfriend.
Yeah. So what about When did you move to Arizona?
Yeah, when did I move to Arizona? This might have been in 20. So wait, if we're talking about like where I was at in life, I was in middle school at first. I was thinking the 7th grade. I think I moved to Arizona because I did 6th grade in New York. Yeah, so I did 7th grade and 8th grade in Arizona. And then I went back to New York for 9th.
Yeah.
And then I went back to Arizona until senior year of high school.
So what was the connection to Arizona?
Yeah, my mom was in Arizona.
Yeah.
My mom was in Arizona. My mom, she actually had a reality show.
Oh, what?
In middle school, yeah. She was on a reality show. It's called Chicago-licious. It was on the Style Network. And she was there, and then she was like, okay, it came to a halt. And then she's like, I don't want to go to California, so I'm going to try Arizona first. So she landed in Arizona, and we were in Paradise Valley. It was beautiful. And at the time, that was a very, very tough time for our family because my father was in a relationship, but it was just so like toxic. So with me living under his roof and his girlfriend, it was just too much for me and him, honestly. And he was like, you should probably go live with your mother until I could like figure this out. So I really got sent to Arizona. Like, I thought I was going away for the summer.
Yeah.
And then he was like, nah, you should stay. I was like, okay. Like, my entire life was in New York and all my friends, and just like I was dancing back in New York. So like I didn't know anything beyond New York. And I just remember like being so angry for a long time. Like, I feel like when we were interfacing, like there was like this wound that was there, but like it wasn't necessarily something I was like really, really processing.
Right.
Because it was just on a whim, and everything was new, like the school, the environment, and it was beautiful. But I don't know if I could really appreciate its beauty at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course, because you're being ripped from your foundation.
I couldn't really accept it at all. Yeah.
So then you moved back to the East Coast.
Yeah. I moved back in freshman year, and it was not it then either. Like, straight up, it was not it then. I went to Brooklyn High School of Arts for my freshman year, and it was intense. Like, being away for 2 years and then coming back, like my vibration was different already.
Yeah.
So jumping back into it was like, oh, this is a whole different way of being. And I'm like, I feel flustered, you know? And also just like not an identity crisis, because I feel like I always knew who I was, but I also was not married to who I was in New York at the time. So freshman year was very rough for me. And then I remember being like, yeah, I'm gonna go back to Arizona because I don't feel connected to New York at all right now. Yeah. And my school, like, I auditioned for a lot of schools because in New York you have to audition.
Okay.
Yeah. In New York you have to audition for schools, which is already crazy. You have to test to be in certain schools. And I didn't make it into any school. Like, I auditioned for LaGuardia High School. I auditioned for PPAS. What other school? Those were like my top.
What's the audition process like?
You basically prepare a piece and you go in there and you perform it.
Yeah.
And then they also teach you a combo. But I wasn't auditioning. Like, I didn't know audition etiquette. I didn't really necessarily like know that way of being. And also, like, the children who are auditioning have been like training in a very specific way since they were young. Me, I'm more on the like, nah, I'm taking African dance. Like, I'm in the dance circles outside. Like, it's more a street dance than it is like a studio
Classical
set.
training, yeah.
Yeah, and a classical training. So yeah, I remember auditioning and winging it. Kind of like winging it. What? Like, and I remember at the time I was a part of a dance crew, and the owner of the dance crew, she's like a godmom to me, honestly. And she was like, I got you audition at PPAS. And I was like, okay. Well, all right, let me go. Was not prepared at all. Like, I just kind of winged it and prayed to God that something would come of it. But nah, they were like, girl, no, like, we could tell you winged it. It's not gonna get it.
Okay.
But it was for musical theater for PPAS. And then I got into Brooklyn High School of the Arts for musical theater. So I was a musical theater major. And that was really cool, just being with the theater kids and like that energy. That was probably my favorite class. I've never been like a real like school girl.
Yeah.
Like never been a school girl. But I enjoyed the elective and being like a musical theater major. So yeah.
Okay, so I have to bring this up because I want to make sure that we get to all the things.
Please.
But specifically, when she danced on our crew that I was running at the time, we were competing at a showcase at Boogie the Beat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm like trans. Wow.
And there was, I want to say it was the Lauryn Hill piece. I think it was. And I remember standing in the back and being like, what is she doing? Why is she changing the choreography?
Yeah.
Because,
Oh my God.
you don't remember why? You ripped a hole in your pants.
Yo, no way. No way.
So first I was like, why is she changing it? And then when I found out, I was like, she's genius.
Oh
She was,
God.
you were a professional at that young age of being like, okay, my pants is ripped in the middle.
Hey.
How do I make this work on stage without
Professional.
bringing too much attention?
Oh, that's crazy. I
You forgot about it.
blacked it out.
Hilarious. I
Drama.
think there might still be clips somewhere. Yeah, maybe we can find it.
I'm so sure there is. Wow, that's crazy.
So dancing was your thing, but now you are a multi-faceted, hyphenated, which I feel like most people in today's era kind of have to be
Yes.
until you reach a certain point where you've really locked in enough years to just stay in one lane.
Right. Right.
But it's been really cool to watch you just like bloom. So dancing was your thing, because when you moved back the second time
Yeah.
back to New York, you booked a gig at what? How old were you when you did? Was it Tiana Terry was the first one?
Tiana.
Okay,
First one. I was 17.
so you weren't even out of high school.
No. And I lied.
They know now. I'm sure they already know now.
I actually seen Tiana recently, and I told her that I lied. And she was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But everybody could tell because I was young. Like,
Yeah.
my energy was young. And that was a very grown show, like, very grown. So that was even interesting for me to be in the room and just witness being on a job with like full. And the men and women who got hired were like in their 30s. Like, everyone was older and had the older energy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was my first job. I remember going to the audition and my dad was like, you need to go to the audition. Like, you have to go. It doesn't matter. And it was open call.
Okay.
And the entire city came out. Like, it was mainly fans. It wasn't even as many dancers there. But I remember being in the room and I was like, yeah, I don't know about this. Like, it just felt, it was my first audition in
How many people were there, do you think?
thousands.
Oh, yeah.
Thousands. And Tiana, so her assistant taught us the choreography at first. And then Tiana came to the room and was like, why would you do it without me? Like, why would you do it without me? She was pissed. So she taught us the choreography again.
Oh, really?
Yes.
She came up with it too?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know she was a choreographer.
Fire, like, yeah.
Okay.
She's a true choreographer. So yeah, she pulled me to the front. She's like, right, do it like that. I need y'all to be doing it like this. I'm like, okay. Like, all right. So the room was packed. And then she literally stood on a chair in the ending process and was like, she picked me first, like pointed, you go to the side, you go to the side. Like, it was so old school. I'm like, I've never really experienced anything like this, but I'm kind of glad it was my first like professional audition.
Yes.
It wasn't how it really is, but it was cool to be there and be like, okay, this is very old school and reminiscent of like, feel like something that would happen like the 90s. That's how it felt. Yeah.
Because I would say in-person auditions aren't even like
A thing.
thing anymore.
No. And this was before COVID, granted, but also it was just the energy of it was so different.
What was one big thing that you took from that experience?
Definitely the trust in my gifts. Because it's easy to be in a room with like so many older people and kind of like doubt your abilities or like doubt your specialties.
Yeah.
Because you don't have as much experience per se. But I wasn't in the back, but like I wasn't as prominent as I feel like today Mazi would be.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it was really just to trust in your gifts. And it was also a very tough team. Like they were pushing us for sure. They were pushing us. So yeah, I would say to trust myself mainly. That was what I took.
What is one thing you feel like from your experience in the industry that you think is important for dancers to know if they're pursuing this lane?
Yeah. I mean, my number one thing is to really be solid in your branding. And that is one thing I've carried with me since the beginning. I'm all about my look. I truly am all about my look. I'm all about my hair.
When did that switch for you? Because you said that you were kind of more going, and at what point did that turn for you?
Well, it was subtleties, honestly. Like I cut all my hair off and I moved back to New York. Like I cut all my hair off and I dyed it blonde.
Yeah.
And that alone was just like, oh, a baldy. Like it was just, you could see you because you're not hiding anything. So I think that my hair was a big thing. And then I think the natural flyness that I have within me was also shining through. But like, I'm big on my look, and I think that has always stood out from the beginning.
Yeah.
I've always cared about like, you know, my audition fits and like standing out in that sense. And like also not just showing Mazi the dancer, but like Mazi the brand. And Mazi the brand is everything from styling to the way I capture things, to the way I take my own pictures, to what I do outside of dance. Like I have a life outside of dance. And I think that was always, I think dancers need to experience everything well-rounded.
Yeah.
Like don't just like, it's great to train. I'm not saying don't train. But also the training is applied in real life. You should go out and you should meet people and you should test yourself by getting in the circle and like just being free with it versus just performing choreography and being so by the book.
Yeah.
So that's always been my thing, because at the end of the day, I'm a Brooklyn girl and this is what I was raised doing. It's beyond just choreography or taking a class.
And who did you train under?
I trained under Kelly Peters.
Kelly Peters.
At Brick House NYC.
I mean, I haven't gotten to experience the dance scene out there. I would love to eventually. But from what I've seen, it feels like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, there's a little bit more opportunity for foundational styles. Like that's more of an emphasis versus out here we have them, but it's not like the popular thing where I feel like there's more of a respect. And I feel like I've heard that in most genres of art, like even with acting, like the guy I take care of, the older man, he was in Hollywood for 50 years. Wow. And he was a theater guy. And he was like, in the acting world, if you want to be good, you go to New York. If you want to get paid, you go to LA. And so there's kind of like that. And so do you feel like from your experience with dancing, that seems to be true?
Absolutely. I mean, hip hop was born in New York. That's step one.
Right.
So yes, you are getting it directly from the source. And these are people who were in the streets. So they have the direct like access to the steez and the energy of street styles, but also like just having the correct terminologies for everything. Like it's one thing to throw something in your choreography, but not necessarily know where it stems from.
Yeah.
And like you seeing it be done and be born in a party, like with our OGs who are in the scene, and then them reporting it back to us, it feels different. It feels like, okay, this is how it's supposed to be done.
Right.
Kelly Peters, shout out Kelly Peters, he literally would bring people who are not even on Instagram, like into the space. And we had training like 3 times a week, but we would have a group training called X Factory. And in X Factory, it's like little kids and like older people, and the little kids will smoke you. The little kids will smoke you. You standing next to a little kid and they will be like, yeah, all right, I'm about to get my SHIT off, you know? But like, I feel like that having that access changed everything for me, because now I have a different respect for where this is coming from, and it's also a safe space. So there's no cameras, like it's just I'm here for y'all.
Yeah.
And y'all gonna get what this really is today. You know, so I really enjoyed being in Brick House because it just changed the whole trajectory of like hip hop for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brick House.
Shout out Brick House.
Okay, so you obviously had a very firm foundation in dancing, and then you switched. Was photography the first thing that you picked up after that?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's that journey been like? Because I know you are doing your thing, you choreographing for artists, directing.
Yeah, I funny enough, I've always had a camera. Always had a camera. I got my first point and shoot, I think when I was like maybe 11 years old.
Oh, wow.
My godmom was like working for this news outlet called The Patch. And she was like, hey, do you want to shoot an Erykah Badu concert? When I was like, sure, why not? I have these pictures too. I looked at them the other day and I was like, that looks insane, but okay. But I always had a camera, and then fast forward to me revisiting it now, I moved out here to Los Angeles to like dance on a different level per se.
Yeah.
And I was pregnant when I moved out here, and I didn't know I was pregnant.
Yeah, can you spend a little time on that? Because I think it's really important for people to understand more about cryptic pregnancies.
Yes. So, at the time when like I already was pregnant, crazy story. I'm in New York and I had just got dropped from going on tour with the artist that I was touring with at the time. Her name is Princess Nokia. And she was like, yeah, I'm going to put a pause on this for now, indefinitely. I was like, shit, okay. Because that was really my thing for like the past 2 years.
Right.
So, and it was also that touring system was going, get me to LA and be comfortable for a little while.
Right.
So when that got cut short, it kind of like put a spiral on my entire, at different points I'm speaking and I'm like, I have like these little identity moments that I go through, and I'm still going to go through them.
Yeah, for sure.
But at that time, I really was like, whoa, like my whole world was shaking up. And I remember that summer, not really going out, not really doing much. And it seemed like it was depression, but I really was just pregnant and going through a lot of different emotions. It's my hormones.
Yeah.
And I remember being so emotional, like, I think I'm in touch with my emotions, but I was crying every day. Like, oh my God, like, I don't know who I am. I don't know what's going on. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So I remember that being the key thing that was like different for me. I went to the bodega like once and threw up in the bodega, and they're like, yo, like, they know me. They're like, what's going on? Like, you okay?
Yeah.
They call my dad. They're like, your dad need to go get you. Like, what's going on? And my dad's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I literally just don't feel good inside of my body. Like, I don't know. I remember taking a pregnancy test on the low.
At what point was this?
This was at least after the throw up situation.
Okay.
I took a pregnancy test and it came back negative. It's like, no, you're not pregnant. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm not pregnant. So moving on.
Yeah.
Moved on. I'm packing up my entire crib. I remember my building was being sold. Shout out to gentrification. Well, my building was being sold at the time. And my dad was moving and I was moving. He was moving into Jersey. I was moving to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And packed up my entire place. I'm just kind of shedding my old identity, getting ready to move. I moved to Los Angeles. I had an apartment. Literally within 48 hours of being here, I didn't take the apartment because seeing it in person, it was disgusting. I moved so many boxes across the country. And at the end of the day, I donated like all of that stuff. And I moved in with my mom. My mom was out here.
Oh, she was already here?
She was here.
Okay.
Moved in with my mom. And it was really God orchestrating it all. Like, you don't even know what you're about to find out. So like, I'm gonna need you to be close to family.
Yeah.
So moving with my mom, I'm in the gym. I'm like trying to get my mental right, trying to get back to like myself.
Yeah.
My stomach is not going down. I'm like, Mom, my stomach is not going down. Like I am going nutty in the gym. I am doing the abs. I'm doing all of the things. Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
It's like, well, what do you think is going on? I was like, I don't know. Like maybe it's like fibroids or something. Like I'm not thinking anything of pregnancy.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go to the doctor. And we're not even like doctor people per se.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I need to go to the doctor because this is just weird. I don't know what's happening with me.
Yeah.
And I'm auditioning out here. I'm not landing anything. Like everything kind of came to a halt for me.
Yeah.
Went to the doctor and I'm telling the doctor what's going on. And she's like, when's the last time you had your period? I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
And like,
She's like, girl, what? She's like, let's take a pregnancy test. And I'm like, okay, whatever. We take a pregnancy test. This lady takes like freaking 45 minutes to come back. And I'm sitting there like, she's about to tell me I'm pregnant because there's no way she's taking this long to tell me I'm not pregnant.
yeah.
Yeah. And she came back in the room and sure enough, she was like, congratulations, you're having a baby.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow.
At this point, how far along were you?
I found out my mom says I switch up the number every time, but I think I found out at 6 months.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. And at 6 months, that's when you start showing for real.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it would make sense. And I'm like, oh, my stomach is not going down. I just have this like bloated situation going on, but it's like all the time. So like, what's going on? So yeah, I think I found out at 6 months. My mom is like, it was really 7 months. But I remember her being like, oh, you're about like 6 months along. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah.
And how did you feel in that moment?
I felt in shock.
Yeah.
Just like kind of like my whole everything is in shock because it's like, wait, what? Like, and you don't have any time to process because you're 6 months along. There is no alternative. Now it's just shifting your brain to become a mother. And I think that's exactly what I did. It was like, I need to get prenatals because I hadn't been like as responsible as I should have been.
Yeah.
I knew I was pregnant. So I'm like, I need to get prenatals to ensure this baby's brain is developed properly. And she doesn't come out, not as healthy as I want her to be.
Yeah.
So really I just got near, like there was really no time to process.
Yeah.
I think 2 years later, I'm starting to process. But in the moment it was like, yeah, like you're about to have a baby. You need to get prepared. You need to figure out how you're going to give birth to this baby. Are you going to do a birthing center? Are you going to be in the hospital? Are you going to deliver in Los Angeles? Like, you have to get a crib. There has to be like things in place.
Yeah. A whole bunch of things.
Like, what? You're about to be a mother. So like, you got to get prepared. It was no time to process at all. None. So I say all that to say, going back to the photography, I remember I found out I was pregnant and I still went to my photography lesson. Like my mom was like, you still need to go and do that lesson. And it was a friend of mine at the time and he had a photography studio. And he had all of the equipment, like from the backdrops to the lighting to even a spare camera that he let me hold for a year, going on 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so he was like, and I didn't tell him. Like, I just went. I didn't tell him what was happening. He had me climbing on ladders.
Oh.
Shit. And I didn't say anything. I was just like, I'm not ready to share this with anybody. So I'm just gonna like keep moving forward.
Yeah.
And it was preparing me for what was to come because photography took up the entirety of my life. It still is, but like it was my everything for these past 2 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, he taught me everything I knew, mainly the settings of a camera and like how to properly do lighting and properly set up a backdrop and work with C-stands and move equipment around. Like just that was my whole everything for a while, yeah.
And I feel like from what I've seen, you have a distinct style too. And I think maybe the dancing background helping with like the movement, coaching, et cetera, because you capture really dope pictures.
Absolutely. It all stems from dance. I think when it comes to utilizing like your gifts, they all complement each other in a way.
Right.
And I think that me being a movement director was the key in getting a good photo. Because my main thing with my clients that I'm telling them, say if I'm just doing portraiture per se, I'm just like, yeah, utilize your hands because it's the best way to speak without speaking in an image. It's a still. So there's like no words, no anything. But how are you going to make me feel your energy through an image? So I always incorporate subtle movements, even if they're not a dancer. It's just the way you have your finger pointed or the way you have your head tilted up. Like there's certain elements that I feel bring an image to life and makes it like really worth looking at, in my opinion. So yeah, dancing really, really, I think set me apart within the photography world because it's like, yeah, this makes it feel a little more exciting.
Yeah.
And at first when I was doing it, I remember like the editing process was my favorite because I can like stretch people out, make them look longer, like make them look big and like massive. And that was like the energy I was going towards in the beginning. And it was fun. Like it was just like, ooh, I can make this a whole different like vibe than what I took it as. And now I've like I found a middle ground. Like I've scaled back a little bit, but to where you can still see the trueness in the image, but also like it's still, ooh, this is a different world, a different,
Yeah. Okay, so it seems like your artistry career has really started to take off in the past 2 years, paralleling your motherhood journey. So what has that been like venturing bi-coastally as an entrepreneur and a new mom?
Like I said, like I I just had to turn it on. So I think with that battery in my back, like you have to provide for a child. It has to eat every day. It needs clothes. It needs to be bathed. Like there's a certain quality of life that I want my daughter to have. And like since I don't necessarily get to control the timing or the circumstances, I have to create it like now. And I think that's exactly where my mind space has been. It's like, yeah, like I'm not taking a low rate or I'm not doing anything that's like not worth my while because I do have a child.
Yeah.
And like this child deserves this quality of life. So I'm going to create my own experiences for right now so that to ensure that she has everything that she needs. And when it comes to entrepreneurship, like it's not easy at all.
Did you start off with that confidence? Because I think having a child obviously is the protective mode. But I think it's hard. I hear a lot of times with artists in general of different places, like, okay, budget, and there's like this like lack mentality, right? So it's really hard to say no sometimes. So were you able to say no from the beginning, or did that something that kind of like developed in you?
Yeah, I was in training mode.
Okay.
So like I was training on the go with photography. With dance, it was like, okay, I get to invest and I get to reap my investment.
Yeah.
With photography, I'm like literally creating my own foundation. So I remember doing like $100 shoots.
Yeah.
And $100 shoots was like, I was still living with my mom. My mom was like making sure we're okay.
Yeah.
And that kind of gave me the space to like develop it.
Okay.
But I still was like, I had to work my way up, but it was very periodically. Like the prices were going up because I'm progressively getting better and I'm getting better fast. And I'm like providing an experience that is an experience. It's not just I'm sitting here clicking the camera.
Right.
And I got to train on the go. So figure out how I'm going to give that experience to my clients. So when it comes to knowing my worth, though, that's always been a thing for me because I'm coming out of the dance industry.
Yeah.
And that's our main thing. Like, know your worth. Don't take a low rate. Like, you need to know what you're worth, essentially. And I think having that understanding tied to photography was like, it was perfect because I had a general understanding. Like, photography world is completely different than dance, but I had a general understanding of how something should be structured and all of the elements that it takes. Like with dance, you know, you have a show rate, you have a rehearsal rate, you have a fitting rate. Like these are all of the elements that get you paid.
Yeah.
With photography,
That a lot of people don't know about. Right. So you have to check those things to reference.
Yeah. Like, there are so many components to getting paid as a dancer. It's not just the show.
Yeah.
It should never just be the show. Like, you have hours of rehearsal, of learning choreography and like really getting there. And with photography, it's like, are we in studio? Are we outside? Do I have to travel past my studio? Okay, how many backdrops are we working with? How many looks do you want to do? Like, all of these things add up because it's time, energy, and there's a whole pre-production process of like, what's your concept? Do you have a more in-depth concept? Are we just doing headshots? Like, there's so many components that add up to what you see as a finished product. You know? So yeah, when it comes to knowing my worth, I was like, this is a lot of work. This is a lot of work. And it's a lot of time and energy spent. And I'm also giving you energy from, I'm in postpartum and I'm pouring back into others.
Yeah.
Because I'm not even feeling as beautiful and as in touch with myself.
Yeah.
And I found that the type of clients that I was attracting around the time, they needed that. They needed that self-love. They needed that confidence boost. They needed what I was feeling, we both were feeling.
Yeah.
And I find that in everything I do. It depends on where I'm at in my life, the type of people I attract. And it's beautiful to just have that opportunity to really like bring people into their bodies. A lot of the time we're so outside of ourselves. We're just kind of roaming through life and like checking boxes, but we're not really in our bodies, you know? Yeah.
So do you feel like you have gotten to a point where you're back in your body, or are you still figuring that out?
Yeah, I think I'm back in my body. And being back in my body is crazy because my vision is clearer. No pun intended, I'm wearing my prescription glasses. I'm wearing my prescription glasses. But I can like see better and I can see people better and I can see situations better and I have better discernment and I have better just intuition. My intuition is stronger.
Yeah.
And it's not just because I'm getting older, but I also just am experiencing different things, and I think so rapidly. And there really has to be a moment in time where you pause and like drop back into it. So that's where I'm at right now. It's a lot. It's been a very intense summer for me, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a very intense summer. I feel like I've just had a lot of betrayal this year. So much betrayal this year. And it's felt like, whoa, why is this happening to me? I mean, that's what we all say, right?
Right.
When something betrays you per se, but also how am I betraying myself? And that's really what I had to look at in all of these different situations. And it comes down to the fact that I'm not caring for myself for real. And 2 years later, postpartum, like I said, I just kind of clicked into gear and myself got pushed to the side.
Yeah.
It's not about me right now. And it's not about me. And until it is about me, right? And now I have a little bit of space to like make it about me and like, you know, do things for myself and even reuniting with dance and like I put dance on the backside. So yeah, I'm way more in my body now than where I was.
What does, if you feel open to sharing, what has been the process in processing being betrayed? Like, is it multiple things? Is it relationally? Is it career-wise? What does that look like and how have you been navigating that space?
Well, I always bring everything back to my mom because my mom is my rock. And
Shout out to moms.
Shout out to mom. Like, my mom is raising my daughter with me. And
which is so beautiful to see. I feel like, do you know who Belief in Fatherhood is?
no,
I'll have to send him to you.
please.
Shout out to him. He created a YouTube channel that just like blew up and very much so went from music to transitioning into what it means to be a Black father and that dynamic, healthy, all the things that go into it. And so from the outside looking in, watching you and your mom and your daughter just journey through life is so, so beautiful.
yeah. I'm grateful. Like, I'm so grateful for my mother because it could bring me to tears. Because it literally, she didn't have to take me in.
Yeah.
She didn't have to take me in. She didn't have to show up for me in this way. Like, it has been me and my mother day in and day out raising my daughter, who's 2 now.
Yeah.
And we see the results because she's brilliant.
Exactly.
She's brilliant. She's beautiful.
Is Star actually a part of her name?
Yes.
So fitting.
Nico Star. Yes. Yes.
She's literally a bright little gem.
Yes. She is brilliant. And it's because that has been our sole focus for the past 2 years.
Yeah.
Even with everything else going on, it all comes down to Nico and her well-being and making sure she is developing so smart, you know?
Yeah.
So when it comes to processing, her and I, we're 2 different generations.
Yeah.
And I think living together, living with your mom as an adult is crazy.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I'm an adult, but she's an adult. And she's like 20 years my senior. And she's like, well, hey, like, I know this too. And I'm like, yeah, but I have to experience this first. Like, I got to figure this out. And like, I have to have the experience to understand you shouldn't do this, you know?
Yeah.
But I think her and I have been healing so much within our dynamic and just to, you know, basically we parents. So it's like now we have to parent, but parent respectfully and like understanding that both of us had our strengths.
Yeah.
And we've been processing a lot between each other. And my mom is also a sound therapist.
Okay.
So she's heavily in the wellness field. And her and I are constantly having very deep conversations. We're very deep people. And our space is like a temple. So we're in there always like processing these things that are actively happening in our life. And I think that helps too, to have your mother's wisdom coupled with me taking the space for myself and like really going out and yes, having the experiences in the world. But like I've really picked up on Iyengar yoga. I've dropped into doing yoga more. I've dropped into dancing again. And really reuniting with dance at this stage in my life has been so different because my body is different. Main thing, my body is different and my energy is different. This isn't my day in and day out anymore.
Right.
So taking a class is a treat for me. It's like my brain is exercising in a whole different way than when it was when I was doing this damn near every day.
Yeah.
You know, so.
What kind of style brings you joy right now?
African.
Okay.
African. And I always got to bring it back to African dance because that's where I started. So African dance is really what's bringing me happiness right now. Yeah.
Hey. Okay, so the processing of betrayal, like what has been some firm tools that you've been using with that?
Yeah. It's a great question. I think that journaling has been my main thing. Journaling has been my main thing and really like writing out a situation, the components of a situation and reading it back and really seeing it.
Okay.
Because everything can't like live in your head. And I think in this day and age, we're always in our head. We're either in a screen or we're in our heads. And, you know, it's one thing to watch videos on Instagram and see how other people process and how they're dealing with certain situations. But inevitably, you have to create your own process.
Yeah.
And I think that's really where I've had the opportunity to do so this summer with dropping back into writing.
Okay.
Writing out things and seeing a situation and understanding the pattern because there's a pattern in everything. There is a pattern in everything and it's not everyone else's fault.
What?
It's not.
It's not?
It's not. It's not everyone else's fault. It always falls back to you, straight up.
Yeah.
And that has been really hard to look at for me because I'm like, what? Like, I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
I didn't. And it's really what you're not doing for yourself. And the betrayal aspect of myself is like not giving myself what I need And I need upkeep, like internal upkeep, external upkeep. Like I need upkeep, and not really pouring into yourself can kind of like leave you out in the world just kind of scrambling and kind of taking what's available to you versus having discernment. And with my situation, with my baby father, that has really put this like thing over my eyes where I can't really see clearly like who's who. Like who's like using me or who's like my friend and like who's really loves me or like loves me deeply and who doesn't. Like it was a point in time in my life where I just was kind of like attracting the same friend over and over and over and over in different bodies, in different forms. And I still wasn't able to be like, that's not a friend. It kind of felt comfortable and it felt great. And then it always leaves me feeling so depleted. And it's because I've gave everything that I have. Even when I have like little to nothing to give. Like it's really just, it's when you're not dropping into yourself that you attract situations like that, I feel like. And that's where I've been at with the whole betrayal thing. It's been like, I've really been betraying myself. I haven't been paying attention to my needs as a person and like kind of settling with what's right in front of me versus being like, look at the full scope of the situation. You know, look at the full scope of the situation. Look at what you have to offer. Look at what they have to offer. Like, weigh it out a little bit before you just, you know, lock this in as a friend. You know? So
That's super, super wise. And you can tell that you're an old soul.
I am. I'm old people kid, so.
Old people get. But I think that's so important. And I just want to reiterate the emphasis when we talk about healing and growth, to be able to hone that skill of saying, okay, no matter what it looks like, because from the outside looking in, it is so easy to point the finger and say, this person clearly did something wrong to me. But then to sit back and to expand and say, what role did I play in attracting this or feeding more fuel to the fire in it instead of letting go or whatever that case is a hard thing, but it's so, so necessary in elevating yourself. So I am just really glad to hear that you're able to do that. And we only got a few minutes left. So what would you say, which I think is so awesome, is that you are a younger artist and you're already walking in these spaces of leadership and putting your mark on things. So what would you tell the young artists? What would you say to encourage a young artist?
I would say, if we're really pulling from everything I've talked about today, is spend time with yourself. And I mean, like, really get to know your likes and dislikes, go out in spaces, talk to people, and use that as your research. Use human connection as your research. Because I think that's the main thing within attracting leadership positions. You have to be likable. You have to want to be around your energy, and they also want to trust what you're saying is actually helping them, not hindering them. So me spending a lot of time with myself has definitely made an impact on attracting these situations because I really know myself and I know what works. I know what works and what doesn't. And a lot of the research has come from human connection and being out and being in different rooms and try everything. Like, don't just limit yourself to one thing. I think trying everything is like adding tools to your toolkit. And eventually you're going to look up and you got a full belt full of tools and you can dish it out in different ways. And that's been me. I've been doing everything with dance, like being in different crews and styling and working in retail and just doing all of the things so that now that I'm in these spaces, I could be like, okay, we got a little bit of everything here. What are we using today? What are we clicking on today? Because the tools are all there. So utilizing all of your gifts, not just, you know, making one the thing that's going to get you everything you need, because what you think is like a slow process is really God like preparing you
Say that one more
The
time.
Mazi perfect package. The perfect package that is everything that you need to where you're headed. So that's my advice for the young artist.
That's so good because the process is the process, and you cannot skip the process
Can't.
if you want longevity, if you want something that's stable. So you can skip the process,
Precisely.
but it won't last very long. And that's so important to understand.
You sure?
What has it been like? Who's the last artist you worked with? And what's that been like for you?
Last artist I worked with is Amare. Worked with Amare, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was really amazing because, funny enough, I got that job because somebody didn't show up to do their job. Like straight up. And I got called 2 days, 3 days before her Coachella debut. So the world was on my shoulders.
Yeah.
The world was on my shoulders. And I remember getting the call from a homegirl that I probably really met once. Like, went on a hike together. That's some LA shit. Go on a hike with somebody, you're just holding regular conversation, y'all follow each other. Now they're like, oh, like you do all of these different things.
Yeah.
And she calls me, she's like, hey, would you want to choreograph for Amare for Coachella? Yo, do I? Like, yeah, sure. She's like, okay, can you come tonight? I'm like, can I come tonight? Let's start tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let's start tomorrow. Let's like kind of hear what's being done. She's like, okay, Amare wants to talk to you. Puts Amare on the phone. Amare's like, hey, this is literally how she talks.
Okay.
Hey, I'm doing Coachella. I need some movement direction. I just feel like the movement direction would really bring this to life.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have that component right now, and I just need that. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, what's the energy that you're kind of going towards? She's like, the reference was very militant and very powerful, and her album is called Black Star, and that I resonate with all the way because I'm like, yes, I am a Black star.
Yes.
Like 1,000%. And she's an African woman, and that level of power is different. So we were honestly in there really cooking and like subtleties in her movement because she says she's not a dancer, but she's nice with it.
Yeah.
And she can pick up on things very fast, like long as she has the repetition aspect. All of us need repetition, but if she has that solid foundation, she could really soar. And with the movements that I gave her for Coachella, like, it really brought it to life. It was perfect because she didn't have to be doing full-blown 8 counts, but the movement and the poses and the energy within itself was like, ooh, like she bad.
Yeah.
She know what she doing, like, So it's been great working with Amare. I then went on to choreograph her summer festival tour. So she just did Glastonbury, Governor's Ball. This is Glastonbury in the UK, Governor's Ball in New York. She's done Maiden Voyage in London. Like, she's pretty much Lollapalooza. She's pretty much at every festival this summer.
Yeah.
So it's been great.
She's fire.
She's fire.
So many, I learned about her through a dance class.
Yeah,
somebody had used that track.
Exactly. And I said that in the room. I'm like, the dance community
Loves you.
Rocks with you. Everyone loves you, and her music is for a dancer.
Yeah.
Musicality in there and the instrumentation, and like, it's sick. It's so grand. And that's really what I see for her music stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So something about what you just shared that I think is important is understanding what you were talking about, having your tool belt to walk into an opportunity ready.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't spend time with yourself and working through those insecurities, if you overlooked the opportunities to build your skill set, you wouldn't have been able to walk into this opportunity.
Yeah.
And I think something that's really important, and this is speaking from my personal opinion, is that God will make room for you.
Absolutely.
Like, you didn't get that through an agency. You got that from a direct call from someone that you met. And I think that's important not to, and I want to be very clear.
Yeah, of course.
Is that I don't think you should be a opportunist. I do think that it's wisdom to understand that you never know who you're talking to. You never know who you're sitting next to, the job that you do, whether it's little, medium, or big, who's watching you and how you show up. It could be like, some people are like, oh, I don't know who that is or whatever, you know, and they're the producer for something, but you had a stank attitude and they're like, no. Or that person that may not have the most eccentric resume, but they're like, I really like the way that you work, how you show up in the room. Let's give this person a chance.
And that's really what it was, because she shared with me that I actually went through a few different eyes within the experience. And at first I was being pitched as a photographer.
Okay.
And I thought that was really interesting too. And then basically this person who didn't show up, he didn't show up, she didn't show up, and they're now 4 days away from one of her biggest performances to this day. She was the first Ghanaian woman to perform at Coachella.
Dope.
So it was a lot on her shoulders, and she wanted to make sure it hit how it was supposed to. And she literally was like, well, let's try it. Like, let's try.
Yeah.
And let's try. Like, and my choreography, I had already choreographed for Coachella. I choreographed Princess Nokia's set 2 years ago, and I took a little break from dance, and I just been photographing. And my Instagram didn't have no choreography on it. Like, my Instagram didn't have dance stuff. It was a highlight, but like, that's if you go and scroll and really look at it.
Yeah.
So it purely was God. Like, purely. There was really everything, all roads lead to like, okay, I guess, but like, what? And then, oh, she did do Coachella. Oh, okay. It's like, you gotta peel the layers back to see it. So me getting in the room and getting to it, it was honestly just a click of a button in my head. I'm like, oh yeah, this is what we do. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. And you could do this. Oh, okay, let's add that in there. Okay. And then you need this, and lift your chin up, because, you know, like, and these are things I've been doing in photography already. I'm shaping a photo. I'm shaping movement. So it's the same thing when you get in a room with artists who I look at as a human as well. Like, she's a celebrity, but it's like, no, like, we both need each other right now. So let's get down to it, you know? Yeah, it's all really about human connection. I go back to that.
Yeah.
Like, not really looking at people for who they are at all. And the woman who put me on the job, her name is Jess. Shout out, Jess.
Shout out.
Okay, the tour manager. The woman who put me on the job, we just connected like girls. Like, girls who are moving through the industry, but we girls, and you doing your thing, I'm doing my thing. It's love. Yeah. And if you could lift somebody up or put them in a room, and I really appreciate her for like mentioning my name in rooms. Yeah. And it really connected the dots, and we made history, honestly.
Girl power.
Yeah, we made history. So yeah.
All right, my love, we're coming to the end. So any last words you want to share with the people you want to leave them with?
Aw. Yeah, I think the theme of today is really like knowing yourself and understanding who you are. So my advice to everyone is to spend some time with yourself beyond your career. Like, tap into your hobbies, tap into things that bring you joy, find out what those things are for yourself, and it makes your creative practices just as good. Yeah. Because you're actually developing and utilizing a different part of your brain that you wouldn't have if you're just working. So that's my advice. And trust yourself, trust in your abilities, trust that what you have to bring to the table is important. So
that's a period.
Amen and ashe.
Okay, where can we follow you? What can we see your work on? Where do the people go and check you out?
Yes, you can follow me at Mazi Smazi. That's MaziSmazi. That's across all platforms, Instagram, TikTok. And my website is mazismazi.com, where you can explore my portfolio. And yeah, that's where I'm at now.
Go book her.
Book bae. I'm a freelancer. Book pay.
Yes. Thank you for sharing your light today.
Yeah,
I appreciate you. I love you. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I love you so much. And thank you for having me.
Of course, darling.
Yes, yeah.
Until next time, y'all.
Lady.
Peace.